Hello guys, it's Nikki and you're watching the Awesome10X Global Market Update. It's February 17, 2021 and it's a Wednesday. You are watching and so I hope that you first like, subscribe, and share so that the algorithms will of course know that Awesome10X is doing a global market update every day. Okay, so let's begin. I feel that the market is extended and the market is extended. Let's take a look at some charts. Your coupon or your wearables has already displayed a move of 10x. Yes, we've been buying in this consolidation about $1.30 below, and so far it is really $13.50. So some people who got in even lower than $1, it even was below $1 at some point in time, specifically 20 cents, if you're going to be anal about it. So think about it. Let's say you've got $10,000 at $1. It's now $130,000 here. Even if you are strongly of the belief that the wearables are a 10x trend, wouldn't you want to actually trim some name, even if it can go $16, $18, $100? So people might actually trim, in my view, because of the astounding price performance of your coupon. Is it just one company, coupon? No, the answer is not. You've got companies like Magnite. This is an advertising company, digital advertising. We've been buying in these levels at about 4, 5, 6. The breakout at about $9 here. And some people still added at 12. Seeing that, hey, this market reopening will actually propel all of this digital advertising. You've got two secular trends. The reopening is one. And of course, the more important secular trend would be the OTT. The over-the-top advertising of all these streaming TV content will need somebody to actually do a programmatic advertising, whether it be on a supply side or on demand side. You've seen already the 10x move happen in the trade desk and even in digital turbines. And so some people wanted another thing, another answer. Some people felt that Magnite was one, Pubmatic was also another. And you could see that the Pubmatic valuation was expensive. And so people felt, hey, if Pubmatic can be valued at these levels, then Magnite should be like this. More importantly, even the Perian network also rose. So you're seeing a really huge move. We're talking about, yes, $4 to $60 here. Or even if you were a little bit late, you entered somewhere at $12, that is still 5x. But even here, just January, you entered here, 23. From 32, it pulled back at 23. Kaboom! You're still what? 23 to 56. That's still more than 100% in just less than 2 months. And so you wonder, has the market already overpaid for companies that we really like? Doesn't mean that we don't like them anymore. We do. But should we profit take? Extensions. And in my view, Awesome10X wants you to trim, not because we don't like it, but we just want to be more on the cautious side that the market's just generous. Like, it's nothing wrong. Like, if you feel that, wow, my $10,000 is now $100,000. Can you believe it? Yeah, because that's really what happened with coupon. And then you have Magnite, let's say, which was just $10,000. It's now, let's say you're just 5x here. $50,000. Amazing. And so you wonder, people are asking, all right, this is also what happened last night. Ehang, of course, we said was a 10x move. $14 was high as 140 at some point in time here in just less than 3 months. We're talking about November, December, January, February. Last night, Ehang actually fell 60% down from 130 all the way to 46. And there was a short report, which we will read later on. Do I believe the short report? The quick answer that I would say is that it's a no. No, I don't believe that Ehang is a fraud. People are asking me, Nikki, is Ehang like a lock-in scandal yet again? Said no. You take a look at Ehang, you really see the flying cars, the eVTOLs. You even see all the SPACs like Joby Aviation, Lilium, Archer Aviation, Kitty Hawk. What else? You've got Volocopter. Volocopter is not yet SPACing. But the point is, there's a lot of eVTOLs and they've got a real client. They've got a real partner. And in my view, people, when it's nascent technology, don't understand it. They call a short report on it when they shouldn't. That said, is it a buying opportunity? Well, you've seen Fubo TV went from something like $5 to $60, fell down to 26, shorted again, and it recovered to $50. So you're going to ask me, I would welcome a drop from this 46 all the way to 28 and 14, where there's the real supporters. You know, this one has a huge support ever since $14 anyway. Even at 46, some people might still be profit taking, but the real resistance right now for Ehang will be this level. I think that the 70 support here is going to be the 70 resistance next 5 to 6 months. Or yeah, I think so. Whenever there's a short report, they disrupt the charts. They disrupt the entire valuation scheme of eVTOLs. You won't be able to get 120 back anytime soon with this movement. But at the same time, is it an opportunity? My answer is yes. Wait it out, 28 to 14, you might actually get an entry opportunity to one of the best eVTOLs of China. This one can actually fly without a pilot. It's an unmanned aerial vehicle. It's just like a bigger drone. You can actually check Ehang 184s. They were able to sell 100,000 pre-orders already at $500,000 a pop. That's $500 million of revenue. This is another wearable. Yes, we like Woozy. You've heard me say Woozy, crazy smart glasses. This was a free Friday class. So we bought here about $2.60 around July. Just the same with Copen. We waited and waited and waited. Some of us sold at $4. And then, of course, we felt, oh, we have to buy it back. $4, re-enter, $3.85. So re-enter. Some people re-entered, or some people just added more. Then, of course, we saw the breakout here at about $8. Some people decided to add more at $9. Some people actually sold at $9. So they felt 4 to 9 was a 100% move. But of course, because we hashtag never sell, or if we do, we just trim. So some of us trimmed here 7 to 9. Some of us even trimmed at 14. Today it's 17. If you ask me, extension after extension after extension, a rally to 20 is not gonna be unknown. It could, but I'd say that these extensionary moves would be a great opportunity to trim some. Maybe you don't want to really sell, but trim. The point is, let's say you didn't even buy at 3 or 4. Let's say you bought at 7. At $7, it's at 20,000. Not bad. You know, you 3x your money in this Woozy, even if you're late. The market's generous. I think that sometimes you have to acknowledge that you're not a genius. You're just seeing a generous market. And with a generous market, there's nothing wrong about trimming. Now, people said, I already trimmed before. Doesn't matter. Even if you trimmed at 7 and 14 and trim at 21, trim, trim, trim. Trim, 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 trim. Christmas trim. Rewalk Robotics. So we want and entered at 140 to 1. We saw a breakout at 250. Some people still aggressively added. We felt that it could go 10x. So it was going to go $10. Yes, $10. So for its $5, you're seeing that some resistance resides at $5 or $6. Even if it go to 9 and 10 in a jiffy, it can also go to 4. So what do you do with this? You can trim some at $6, knowing that you could actually sell again at $9. Can even go to 12 or 16. That's true. First and foremost, most people don't know why it's gonna 10x because they just simply didn't enter our Awesome10X inner circle. Rewalk Robotics was an inner circle pick. We gave a deep dive. The Rewalk Robotics enables the people with stroke, the veterans, the army. You know, there's a medical healthcare bill. Rewalk Robotics is part of that. Insurance. And it's gonna be covered. And Rewalk Robotics actually allows people with stroke to walk again. So they're going to be able to, there's a lot of beautiful things that happens when you can actually walk. Your bowel movement is not gonna be a problem anymore. Of course, your health is gonna be better. There are things that you might take for granted because you have legs. But some of the army who actually lost their leg would actually have a new life just because they could rewalk. Rewalk Robotics is one of those people, and of course, Exoskeleton as well, and even a 10 that you can get in. Exobionics is also at the same category of rewalk. They enable people who lost their legs or lost their arms, etc., to function again. Exobionics, the term is bionics. So with metal and with technology today, you can function like a human being. In fact, even better. That's the entire Cyberpunk 2077 secular trend in the game. You can actually just use prosthetic eyes. You could just use some better arms, some prosthetic legs, and so forth. There's also flexible solution, FSI. I got in at about 250, 260. It's now trading at 430. Is it extended? I think that, these can extend further. So I wouldn't sell because, oh, you're so greedy, you don't want to sell. Not really. I bought companies that I felt was 10x in nature. It's not like 1x or 2x. So I deserve my 10x, even if I have to wait 5 years for it. And if you want to make my stock 10x in a year, then okay, that's when I would trim because it's too early for me to 10x. I didn't need a year to 10x, but if you wanted to give me a 10x in a year, then I would. This happened with QuantumScape. QuantumScape was 10x in just what? Less than a year, right? 13 to 130. So had to sell 120 all the way to 90. Yes. Even if you sold at 60, it was still a sell, right? Enter it back at 41, 45, even at 45. And then right now, you still know that if this rallies to 70 or 65, you've got still that resistance. That's charting. Okay. So let's talk about more things that are extended. Growth generation. We like cannabis. And we like the pick and shovels of cannabis. That was growth generation. This was also free Friday class. We said, hey, let's buy here at 12. It went to 22. Some of us didn't sell at 22. We managed to sell already late at about 17, 16, 15. And then we rebought here. We bought again at 17.5. Some entered even at 15. And we persisted to hold on to it. Why? Because we felt that, number one, the Hindenburg research report about growth generation being affiliated with mafia Ponzi schemes was not something that we agreed upon. We saw the revenues. We took our own research, real deep dives here. And we felt that there was nothing wrong with growth generation. And the acquisitions, the new hydro plants were going to expand their revenues. That was happening. The news disclosures was happening here. Talked about the tomato, right? They bought the big tomato and more. I think they acquired two hydro-related hydroponic stores here. So everyone had a secular trend in growing plants, and growth generation was a function of that. More so, Hydro Farm, HYFM, was listing through a public IPO, which was nosebleed levels, knowing that growth generation was at the same sphere in their farming, cannabis plantation, everything that had to do with hobbyists and enthusiasts and commercialization of planting was a growth generation market. And they exuded that in all of their revenue formats. You've got Scott Miracle Grow saying that, look, during the pandemic, everyone was smoking pot. We knew that. So we capitalized on what we knew. We executed, we held, growth generation, all right, 17. Some of us got in 12, now it's $60 times 5. Should we sell it at $60 or should we wait at it at $100? Maybe it will go $100 or maybe not. But what I do think is that so far, there's nothing wrong about trimming at 60. You might have sold even earlier. Let's say you sold at 50. You felt that it was 50 here, and it was already topish. Some of us were even selling December here at about 40. So if you ask me, I think that this trend in the planting is strong, but in my view, it's just perfectly priced. Now, people would say there's no such thing as a perfectly priced thing if it will continue growing. That's true. But it could also consolidate, right? What if 60 goes down to 50 and then just consolidates? So my money is stuck. My money will never go to 12, yes, but it will just steady state, sleep. It's not going to go 100. So what I'm going to do with these things, grow generation, is actually to trim at 60 or 70. And then if it even goes to 100, that's the risk that I take. The risk that it goes 100 without me. That's the sad part. That's true. It happens. There are some fintech names China right now that are rising. Take note that Giant, JFin. JFin just broke out of $4, a very strong resistance here at 4. July, September, November, December. And I kind of entered already a little bit late. To be honest, I entered at about $4.20. So I didn't enter at 4. I entered about 4.2. So far, it's hitting 5.26. I see a resistance at $6, can even go to $9. Again, people might ask, Nikki, what's JFin? JFin is a Chinese fintech. I've seen like companies like Futu going wild, Futu and Tiger. I have Futu, I don't have Tiger, but we have some clients who have Tiger. We have some Awesome10X members who have Tiger. So you're seeing that, all right, the Chinese fintech is too strong. Should I take some profits off the table? Not necessarily. Because the chances are you won't get Giant back at $4 anymore. So my 420 will never be there. Sure, 520 can go down to 5, can even go to 6 as well. So think about your alternatives. If you sell it today, am I missing on a 100% reward just for a 20% correction? And when I think about it that way, it helps clarify my thoughts. If it's just a 20% risk, I'll probably just buy it for 50 if it falls there for the reward of 8 to 9. Meaning for JFin, even if I can see clearly a $6 resistance here or even at $8, it's not as quick of a sell. It's not quick of a trim because it's just an early movement. For all I know, this goes to $9 next couple of months and I'll just hate myself if I sell at 6. So I won't sell. That's one. Is the market frothy? No. The market is frothy depending on which sector you're talking about. For instance, some SPACs like Genesis Park Acquisition Corp doesn't look frothy to me. Genesis Park Acquisition is rumored to be an eVTOL. An eVTOL, electric vehicle takeoff landing. Genesis Park Acquisition is now trading at $2.35, February, January. So Genesis Park is still at $11 below. So usually when the SPAC is near NAV of $11, I'm willing to take part in the acquisitions of the warrants as well. There are a lot of companies, some companies in the biofuel zones. This is one of them. I'm just trying to look at the sector. You'll notice that Nesty is 24 all the way to 60. I'm trying to see whether the pullbacks can be bigger here at about $50 or 48 or even at 40. Just because the market is nearing resistance or topish does not necessarily mean that you should take profits all the way. End of the day, take a look at the stock price. This is Ehang. Ehang has risen, was buying it July 80 cents, actually 80 cents in a dollar, 110. It's now trading at 5. I think at 5, you want to trim. 4.6, you want to trim. So some wearables right now, the sector on wearables, in my view, seems to have played out very nicely, made 5x at the very least. Some people 10x. Nothing wrong to take profit. Himax buying here about 380, below 4. It's now trading at 16 times 4. Nothing wrong. Selling at 16 on Himax is okay. Microvision, this is more amazing. Started at about $1 when we were looking at it, July. It's now $24. This is what I'm saying, that what if Copen is just here at 13, 14, and then next month, it's already 25. Wouldn't I feel bad if I sell at 14, even if my cost is at the $1, $2 below? Yes, I know the feeling. You'd feel bad. That's why you don't want to sell your winners fully. You just want to trim, and then doesn't matter whether 14 goes to 20 or 14 goes to 8. That's how I think about it. Copen is now at 13, can go to 20, can go down to 8 or 10. So I know that there will be strong support for Copen at 6 to 8. But I'm not sure even if it's going to go to 6 to 8. It can go 18. So yeah, but I'm happy. I could trim. Giant already mentioned that a while ago. Ehang, all right. So Ehang already discussed. Woozy, Rewalk, Regeneration, Magnite, Agora. Yeah, let's talk about this extension move. Is Agora here at 102 already extended, or can it go to $200? So we have been persistent in Agora API, buying it at $41, 38, 37, even at 30, yeah, 37, 38, even some 36. Here, so many arrows. Those arrows represent us buying and buying and buying and persisting. And right now, it's at $102. I think that here at about 102, 110, forgive me if I'm going to trim. I always tell everyone that I trim and then it goes higher again, which is fine. Agora is really a 10x company. This is the live streaming leader. Not just about Elon Musk entering Clubhouse. Agora powers your talk space. Agora powers your Unity games. Every live streaming app right there. The software development kit is likely Agora inside. And so, I might be wrong in selling at 100, seeing at $200 next year. That's the truth. And what's my downside? If I sell it 100 or if I don't sell it at 100, will it even go to 80 or 70? I think that this one might never go to 80 to 70. Perhaps the low is just $90. So think about it that way. $90 low, and then the upside is 200. Nikki, it's wrong to sell Agora. Okay, all right. If that's what you think, then perhaps you're right. Because me, personally, my biggest mistake all the time is selling my winners. Because my winners really go 10x. I'll give you a winner. These are my thought gas. Thought gas means the ones that got away. Meaning I sold them early on before they 10x. In Tuatwa, yes, I entered at $20. And then I entered again at 32. Entered again at 75. It's now 200. But right now, I don't have Pintuato anymore, sadly. I sold it before it went $200. But it's a 10x, see? 10x, 2019 to 2021, 10x in 2 years. To be honest, can even go 250 tonight or 260. Hopefully, it doesn't go down, up and away and give some entries. The entry points will already be here at 140. It's not even going to be going down to 99. Gap ups are very hard to go back into. Very hard. Take note what happened with companies that kept on climbing higher. The ones that kept on climbing higher, of course, C Limited, yeah. Will I sell C Limited? Take note. No, I don't want to sell it. So it's a 10x, right? You probably entered at $20 or $40 or $50. It hasn't reached 400, depending on where you entered, of course. But for some people, this has already been a 10x move for them. So 2019 is about $20 here. It's $280 now. We aren't seeing insanity moves yet for C Limited. It could go $500, right? So this is also one way that I assess whether I should sell. If it isn't, it is extended, but it's not too extended, meaning I'm not seeing 50% in a single day move, right? So when it's not doing that, I'm more willing to actually hold on to it. I'm more willing. Now, let's give you some ideas. EMPK, I'm a bit late, right? I said, I know that it's rallied from $10 to $50, but I said, I think that the move is really 10x. So since that it was a 10x move, I still bought at 49, 51. Some people still entered at 46, right? This is the consolidation. A $40 move here did not preclude me to go further up because I know that it's going to go higher. Even if 45 went to 35, I didn't really care. I was willing to buy. So I was willing to buy. So far, so good. It really rallied to $70, $80, right? But here at $80, I think to myself, did I really deserve a 1x move given that some people entered $20 here? Am I buying and chasing? I felt that my buy here was chasing. That's why I couldn't buy a lot. I was just, okay, I'm going to regret. So think about it this way. Think the way like Bezos think, Jeff Bezos. It's called the regret minimization framework. If I believe in skin cancer and derm tech is the solution to the skin cancer, I need to have it, even if it's just a 1% allocation. So I allocated some shares on derm tech here at 51 and 49 and 50. Yeah. So far it went to 75, 50% move in just a week. But that is a 700, 800% move for the earlier people who got in at January or February or even in December, right? So to me, I'm more willing to trim, but only trim because it can go 100. I love to buy companies that solve problems. And but however, you know, when a problem is already too known, diba? Like, you know, solar, yeah, 8 went to 80. Sunrun went from 8.9 here. It's now at $90 here, already a 10x move. I felt that usually, guys, after a 10x move, it usually corrects. So this one actually 80 corrected to 60, 56 entered there. 100 went down to 70. I didn't enter here actually at 70. I was waiting even lower at 63, but it never appeared. But you could see that here for Sunrun, it cannot go to 90 or 100 anymore. This is what you call a lower high. These are what I call structural. It's just too high, and so it will trade into a range. It will range. It will just range. You'll get 50 to 90 all the way. Just like Zoom video, it's ranging. This is what you call a range. You buy low, you sell high. Here at about 445 or 470, this is a sell. You buy 350, you sell for 70. Now, of course, there's more to discuss. Trade the range. I personally trade the range, and when I see that it's ranging, that's my sell call. That's when I know that, all right, I'm not going to make 100% further. So if I think that, all right, it's Teladoc here, example, 240 all the way to 180, that's left for like 6 months. 240 minus 180 is about $60. 240 plus 60 is 300. Technical resistance 300. So if I'm like just thinking, all right, maybe this is a 10x move, but in the short term, it's probably not going to go 500 anyway. Okay, I could sell some at 300. That's all. There's going to be a lot of companies that you can actually say that have already made sky-high returns, especially in the electric vehicle sector. So I'm going to like give you some ideas on them. All right, so Yeka is now 120. Actually, Yeka was something that I shared to buy at about 96. And 96, 95, like your JFins, your fintech Chinese. Even if I know I was late, I knew that it was still gonna go higher. But yeah, so like 40 is now 120. At some point in time, I think that these are all extensions. These are extensions. So I would sell extensions. All right. I think some people are already calling me up and I need to work on other things. Let me just quickly answer a few questions before I go. Can you suggest a stock that is low? That's a possible 10x. Well, what did I buy? Get a SPAC warrant on eVTOL. That's one. I have some drones. I think like drones and eVTOLs are 10x names. I think that's a potential 10x. I'll give you one name that I just recently bought. And some biomass. Yeah. So I don't know if I should tell you, but this one drone. This one Delta drone looks to be a 10x name. 3 cents. Try to look at this. Any thoughts on THBR? Thunderbridge looks to be weak. Indie Semiconductor, right? I had to sell it. I have some Thunderbridge, but I trimmed because when the market disagrees with me, I don't like to have a huge position on it. Hi, Achi, solid HK, 1611 pick. Yep, Actually, I gave Yeka as a pick, but I think Yeka is right now a trade. You sell this at 120 and 140. 1611 is also a sell, a little sell here at 24. So 16 to 24, very fast move, 50% in 2 days. Usually I trim, especially if I feel I don't deserve a 50% move in 2 days, especially since I just, in a way, I do as a chase. Ehang, Palantir, Fubo. So it's the same, right? Fubo, 10x move, and then kaboom, drop. So this was a 10x move from about $8 all the way to 60. Well, not 10x, 8x, 8 to 60. You see a fall here at 25. Every rally, about 50 to 60, you get a sell. So meaning you're already in a trading range for Fubo. For Palantir, you get a, well, it's not yet a 10x move, but you're seeing that this is actually a trading range. I think that there's a trading range here at about 30 to 40, just as well as Luminar. You can see Luminar also in a trading range. Trading range, like $40, you can see a seller, and then the buyers are all residing at 25 below. So you're seeing a lot of SPACs actually in a resistance zone. Weed, 27 here, but I think $30, you'll get some selling pressure. Tilray, I think, obviously, this is a 10x move that needs to be sold. You got in at $5 to $8, it already went 65. Even if you sold at $50, it's still a good entry to sell. 34, if you haven't sold, still sell, right? Some people were even willing to sell at $20. That's what I'm talking about. 20 went to 60, and you still behave as if you're not getting your reward. You're a spoiled brat. I always tell people, spoiled brats. Pigs get slaughtered. Greedy people. Charge point, what do you think about it? SBE looks to have a resistance at about 30 to 40. Like, I think in general, these are your resistances. So you want to sell 37, 39, 45 for charge point. And then you just get back in at 25. Or if it never falls, even if it doesn't fall, you buy it next 3 years or next 2 years once you've got those 500,000 charging stations already. That's what I mean. I like long term, but are the 500,000 charging stations already installed? Not yet. It's gonna take time. Hi ma'am, ano po masabi niyo kay Nicola? Nicola was a pump and dump. Fraud, right? 10 to 100 and then down to 10. The fact that it's even at $20 is even 100% higher for the 10, right? This was a SPAC that you don't enter because it's a fraud. Is ACTC still undervalued? ACTC is Proterra. I think ACTC Proterra is good, so I'm just keeping it. Palantir is a trading range. Hi, Nikki. What can you say about Xiaomi? Xiaomi 1810, I like it since 9. As in here, $9. But here at 9, it's an uptrend, but I think it's an extension already. You might want to actually understand that $30 is more of a sell rather than a buy. I don't try to squeeze the last juice. I don't. Beke, Billy. You're late in Billy. Billy is already 20 to 130, right? We got into Billy at about $20 area. I still remember that. 22, 26, here, 22. Now it's 148. I could be long. See, I gave a set at 120. It's now 148. But I think these are, guys, extensions over extensions over extensions. Over my dead body. YouTube of China, Bilibili, not worth it. Even if it goes to 200. What else? Becky. Okay, Becky, I think, is a good name. However, you're seeing it in a state of a range. Range to, 60 to 80 so far. It's a waiting game. It's not gonna fly beyond 100 yet. Blue is Blue fell 30% last night. I haven't seen the report. So Blue is at 30% down. I felt actually that $40 was a support, as you could see with these arrows. Last time is 128. So you know that, man, that cancer therapy is not my best sector expertise. I'm not very good in doctors and in healthcare stuff. So I'm gonna give you the chart of this. You've got a support at $20, $40 and $20, assuming 20, so you're just really in the middle side. It's really in an all-time, like we're talking about 7-year lows here. So I think with Blue, this was an earnings related play ba? Let me see. Why did it fall 30%? Bluebird Bio News. Bluebird shares after the company suspends the trial of sickle cell disease treatments, hits a pause on the rollout for ill-fated gene therapy Zynteglo as the trial flags two cancer, why Bluebird Bio is plunging today. So they stopped a certain drug trial. So that's what happened. Because it's an experiment. Eh? At the end of the day, guys, all these gene therapy names, you could really fall 50% in a single day. You just get a gap down because suddenly somebody died with the cancer's therapy name and they're going to sue Bluebird Bio for it. Gene therapy specialist Bluebird Bio announced a temporary suspension of lentiglobin. It's an experimental gene therapy for sickle cell diseases. They're falling off a cliff, 35%. It is a rare and potentially deadly group of blood-related disorders for which there are very few treatment options. Bluebird was investigating lentiglobin for a phase-half study in a separate phase 3 clinical trial. They learned that a patient treated more than 5 years ago had a contracted acute myeloid leukemia, cancer of the blood and bone marrow. It's not clear whether the patient became ill as a result being treated with lentiglobin, but following the protocol, Bluebird decided to put these studies on pause while it's investigating if the gene therapy is to blame. The safety of every patient is our utmost priority. So namatay, probably the patient died, and that's it. The thing about biotech is that it's a hit and miss. That's what I feel. I'm not gonna buy 28 for Bluebird Bio. If I bought in at $40, it's not 28. I'd have sold. Doesn't matter if I have to sell at a loss because it is a loss. It's 1%, 2%, 3%, doesn't matter. I don't consider a loss a problem. It's just an experiment. An experiment can fail. It's part of the system. It's how we detect 10x moves. Okay? All right. There's a lot of companies that you should actually be aware of. Some SPACs, but some of your crypto-related exposures might actually have gone way high that you want to actually profit take. Bitcoin at 50,000 is actually a wonderful area, not to buy, but to actually trim. Now, some people would say, it's going to go 100,000. Sure, it could. It could. But at the end of the day, guys, those people who got in at $28,000 here, this is an extension at 50K. That is a 1.272 Fibonacci extension. More importantly, the people who got in at 5,000 here is already more than 10x here. So I'm not saying that you should short it. No, I know I don't short. I'm just saying profit taking and trimming is not a problem, even if it goes to $60,000, which it could, because this is the extensionary move next. After 50,000, it goes 54,000, it goes 60,000. Those are your Fibonacci retracement areas or extensionary areas. Now, let's say it falls. If you trim at 50K, where will I pick it up? Because I want to buy it, right? Of course, you want to buy it up. Where do you want to buy it up? You want to buy it back at 40,000 or 36,000. You don't want to really sell it, right? You just want to trim and buy it back. Trim and buy it back. Now, what if you trim and you can't buy it back? That's why you never sell all. You just trim a little. One last SPAC before we go. Humacyte, a developer of universally implantable bioengineered human tissues and organs. So they've agreed to do a public acquisition, SPAC, Alpha Healthcare Acquisition. The deal is the rare instance the company will focus on developing human tissue in laboratories coming to the public market. So we can now actually print human tissues and organs. You know that, right? Or you don't know? Yes, you can print human heart, human kidney. Durham, Humacyte, founded in 2004, developing therapeutic applications for illnesses, including end-stage renal disease, repair, replacement of damaged arteries, including Robert Langer, a U.S. chemical engineer, also on the board of biotech company Moderna, and is a professor of the MIT. Alpha Healthcare is a SPAC. It raised $100 million in an IPO in September. Okay, so let's take a look at Alpha Healthcare. Alpha Healthcare. Ehang. Still cheap because these packs are just $10. So usually I'd bet it if I believe that people would actually think about these. It's a hit or miss, but I'm willing to lose 10-20% for an upside of 100 to 200%. That's how I operate. Ehang warrants. $1.60. Sure, get in. I'm willing to buy AHAC, AHAC. Okay? Thank you very much, guys. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. This is another day. Let's see you again tomorrow. Bye-bye.